Hello, and welcome to 218 Time, a podcast by two guys with an approximate knowledge of many things. I'm Feets,
And I'm Tommy.
and like always, we are back. What have you been up to lately?
I've been doing a lot of, I guess looking for new games to play because, once you're 30 days into GTA, sometimes it just starts to lose its magic, you know? But so I've been looking at games, and then I remembered a game from years and years ago. And I mean, I know I'm only a college age, boy, but
You're but a boy, yeah.
I'm but a boy. But I mean, still, 10 years ago is a long time ago. And there's a game series. The first one came out in 2010, 2009, but this one came out I think a few years later, and it's Zombie Estate 2. It's this like a survival game, zombie survival, but it's like top down kind of, and you're kind of like, I don't even, it's not even top down, some weird bird's eye view type thing, third person.
Like the isometric 3D kind of?
I think so, yeah. And then you're this little, and so there's buildings with roofs cut off that you can go into and stuff, so you can see everything. And then you just go against hordes and hordes of zombies, and there's all sorts of ridiculous weapons like the holy squirt gun. And so me and my brothers, we found out it was on Steam, and we've been playing a lot of that. I've put a few hours into it now in the past couple, since yesterday and today, and it kind of got me thinking. So, Xbox 360, which was one of my probably my most played console growing up, or at least one of them. It had this weird time, and this is just when indie games were becoming a thing, where they literally accepted anything into their store, and 90% of them were just awful pieces of crap. But sometimes you'd be sifting through and stuff, and you get these little gems, and one of them being Zombie Estate. But it just really got me thinking about there's just always those games that you have these fond memories of, but because if I walk up to somebody on the street and I go, hey, have you ever played Call of Duty? The answer 9 times out of 10 is going to be yes. Almost everyone knows what it is. But then there's just those little ones that have a very cult following. I don't know. I just been thinking about that, and I kind of went into a deep dive, and I was just sifting through all these games I played. I actually should have turned on my Xbox and looked through, but I can do that a different day. I remember a lot of them being zombie survival. I remember a lot of them being Minecraft clones, and then I remember a lot of them being some ungodly mix of the two.
That honestly sounds very apt based on what I saw my friends playing and what I saw in the App Store and stuff like that alone.
Yeah, because on the Minecraft end of the spectrum was Total Miner, which is, it's just a really ugly Minecraft clone.
Which there are many of those.
Yeah, this one I think was probably one of the more popular ones. So what was weird about it was, one, it had some extra things. The world deepness was not infinite, but it was insane.
Interesting.
The worlds were really, really small, width-wise, but they went so deep, because I remember I made this spiral staircase, and it took me a few hours, and then I had to climb all the way back up, and that took me 40 minutes.
That sounds nasty.
It was disgusting, yeah. Oh, and so they didn't have zombies, they instead had these massive, spiders. Here's the thing, I say that, and it sounds this terrifying thing. No, they were blocky, and they looked like a 5-year-old on Minecraft built them or something. And then they had skins that you could unlock by doing different things and stuff. It was a really wacky game. It was very much trying to ride the Minecraft hype train. A lot of people still compare Terraria to Minecraft, and I'm I don't see it anymore. It's similar, I guess, in some aspects, but they completely went their own way with it.
Yeah, Terraria is a very distinct game.
Yeah.
I have a decent amount of playtime in it, but it was from almost a decade ago at this point, and even then I didn't know a whole lot about it. It's a very complicated game.
Yeah, especially later. I think I have 60 or 70 hours in it. I think I have 40 on Steam, and then 50 or 60 out of Steam.
There are definitely games that are unfairly compared to Minecraft, for sure, but
not Total Miner.
Yes, there's a lot of Total Miners out there.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see what the next game that is as big as Minecraft is going to be.
It's going to be tough, because, I mean...
Actually, Fortnite kind of was.
It did, but Minecraft kind of, I think in the past few years, had that resurgence that, really proved its staying power.
Yeah.
And now it's the most sold game of all time, I think, if not the second most.
Me and my friends just started playing a game called Murder Miners, that is like a zombie survival game almost. I don't know how to explain it. It's basically just Halo with Minecraft blocks.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
It's been around since 2014. It was, I think, once again, it was part of the Minecraft train, but like, it just didn't. And...
For those who don't know, Minecraft really like started in 2009, but I think a big pickup was in 2011 when they released the big 1.0 update that added creative mode and a whole bunch of stuff. It was the first like really big update.
And it was when what's it called? YouTubers started playing it too, like to a large degree.
Yeah, early 2010s was big for it because of the YouTube community, and still is big in the YouTube community, honestly.
Well, yeah, it had like a huge dip, like nobody was playing it, and then all of a sudden it came back, and now everybody's playing it again. Like YouTube just completely took it back, pretty much, like all the YouTube Let's Play channels and stuff.
Which honestly makes me super happy because it really is an amazing game.
Oh yeah.
And then the world's just sleeping on Total Miner, I guess.
I guess so. And then you got Castle Miner Z.
Well, I can assume from the Z that it's very hardcore.
Oh yeah, well, the Z stands for zombies.
Of course.
And that was another Xbox game. That one was actually, if you played Xbox 360 in like 2011, 2012, it came out late 2011, so like 2012, 2013, you probably at least saw ads for it, because like Microsoft was pushing for it for some reason. It was because it used you played as your avatar.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Well, and so it's guns. There's a lot of guns in the game. There's dragons, which was weird. Like, you'd just be chilling with your boys, and you'd be, like, chilling in your base or whatever, and then all of a sudden you just hear, like, a dragon come out of nowhere, and it was some wacky shit. It was a good time, but it was some wacky, wacky shit.
That is one thing that Minecraft never had officially, was guns. So, I'll give them some credit there.
Yeah, well, once again, the game was half Minecraft, and the other half was kind of its own thing, which was kind of nice.
What I find funny is, if Google is to be believed, apparently there was a Castle Miner, which came out the same year, from the same company, and then Castle Miner Z.
Yeah. What probably happened was people were like, Castle Miner is boring. Do you have any, like, obscure games you're thinking of?
Oh man, that's a good question. I mean, as I think I've probably mentioned before when I talked about Source games, I definitely spent a lot of my time, especially around 10 years ago, like we're talking, playing a lot of games on PC. But when we first kind of started talking about this, it took me back a little further. We've talked about media aimed towards preschoolers before. Have you ever played any of the JumpStart games?
I can't say I have.
It was a very large series of educational video games. The only one I remember, though I know I had more, was a game called JumpStart Adventures 3rd Grade Mystery Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
It's your typical kind of edutainment game, I would say, but like, it always stuck with me for some reason. It has this really weird feeling to it, I guess. I don't really know how to put it. It just has, it's got that kind of like feel of early 2000s PC games, which had that really compressed audio, kind of jumpy animation, weird semi-grainy visuals and pre-rendered 3D, goofy sound effects, really strange presentation. This particular game, I won't go too in depth to it because it's not the most interesting thing, to be honest. Basically a glorified collection of minigames and educational things, but it's like this weird game about this evil scientist's daughter who takes over his mountain mansion hideout, sends a bunch of robots through time because she failed a quiz.
Dude, it literally just happened to me.
Yes, dude. And she wanted to rewrite history. So I watched a playthrough of this game to, refresh my memory a little bit.
Mm.
You bring up the video for quiz, and the teacher's like, what does the Earth revolve around? And then she goes, why, it's me, of course. And the teacher was like, yes, the universe revolves around you. Weird game. Kind of has a little bit of an eerie feeling to me because of the graphics and the lack of music a lot of the time. But a lot of nostalgia in just kind of edutainment games in general, I guess.
Yeah, I got you.
There is one that I want to get to, but I think I'm going to push it back a little because it might take us to a tangent to some fun things.
Okay.
But I do kind of want to name drop some other ones before I, ask you about other stuff from you. games. I played a lot of licensed games. I will save those for another day, probably, because I could talk about those for ages, but to shout them out now, specifically on the PC, the Polar Express game, and some of the Harry Potter games were fire. Great times.
I think I had a Harry Potter game for the PS2.
Which movie was it? Do you know?
I think it was Sorcerer's Stone.
Ooh, yeah. So the first two games are the ones I remember the most.
Yeah. All I remember was it was way too hard for... Because I only played it when I was like 7 or 8. And I just remember my little brain could not comprehend the controls. But it was very like early 2000s PS2 where like with the crappy voice acting and then like the running animations and stuff.
Oh, yeah. The gorgeous kind of everything is a little stilted.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And then some of the other things that I wanted to, name drop really quickly, because a lot of them aren't super interesting to talk about, to be honest. I mentioned a couple episodes ago, my boy Tux, representing the Linux gang.
Yes, I remember.
A lot of Tux-based games on Linux, so that's fun. I pulled out my old Brickabot laptop to check on that. And plenty of Flash games, a lot of those, which also might be a topic in itself, but we'll see where it goes. I got a couple more I want to talk about, but I want to hear more about what was in your library.
Oh, so I thought of a game that I feel like instead of being obscure for good reasons, it's kind of just obscure because it's lost to time.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the 2007 smash hit for the Wii, Cosmic Family?
Cosmic Family? No.
Okay, so it's a Ubisoft game.
Oh boy.
It is a game about this family who wants to... I think they were trying to, like, move to another planet or something. And so they, like, just jump into a spaceship. They go off to space. I don't... Oh, gosh. The only reason I am not going to go too deep into it is just because it's such, like, a visually odd game. I highly implore everyone to just, like, look up a playthrough, because honestly the playthrough's probably going to be an hour long.
The art style makes me uncomfortable.
Yes. Okay. So the intro, so this game is made for little kids, right? So I had remembered bits and pieces of it. I don't think I actually ever beat it. It's not very long. It's like 15 mini games you have to get through. But me and my friends, two of my friends, we went to my basement because that's where our Wii is, and I was like, hey boys, I remember this game and I remember it being kind of a trip. Should I just pop it in? And they were like, whatever. It kind of looks like it's a kid's game or whatever. But and not that they were like, oh, we're too cool for that. It was just kind of more of just like, why would we do this? Yeah. Oh, you have a lot of other games to play. And I was like, I just want to kind of try it out. And we were dying laughing the entire time. It is some of the funniest stuff on the planet. So the intro is, it's like a classic quote-unquote nuclear family. So a husband and a wife, their son and their daughter, and then they have like a dog and a cat. And then the person who talks to you throughout the game, it's like this yellow elephant with purple polka dots who like comes in and he's just like, hey, welcome to Cosmic Family. And the intro to show the family, so like it's pretty normal. Oh no, there's two daughters. I forgot. It's like a younger daughter. But so like the dad, he kind of like forms in or whatever, and then the mom does the same, and then the older sister comes in. She's like a teenager. And so remember, this is a kid's game. This is for little kids. She comes in and she's like super skinny when she comes in, and then all of a sudden with the tiniest boing 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 boing, her boobs come out. Like not like come out of her shirt or anything, but they like form under her shirt, and I'm just like, why? I'm just it's so weird. It's a game meant for like 5-year-olds, and I feel like, you know how sometimes they're like, oh, it's a little joke for the adults. That's not even a joke for the adults. The girl's supposed to be like 16.
Yeah, that's yikes.
And okay, actually, now that I think about it, it is not a small boing, 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 boing. It is a pretty sizable boing, 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 boing. And she literally looks down at her chest for it to happen.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. All right. We're gonna. The game was otherwise pretty mediocre. That made us laugh, and some other minor things did. The game was pretty mediocre. It has a 5 on IGN.
I know this might not count as this title you're talking about might not count as like shovelware, but something that might count as shovelware that I thought of is a game my family and I still love to play every year called Carnival Games Mini Golf.
Ah, yes.
It's not the most obscure. I'm glad you know about it.
Yes, I know. I don't think I had mini golf, but I do know.
OG Carnival Games.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have that too. I never played it as much. I think it's because my family loves mini golf. It's a sport of champions.
Yes. Yeah, I forget how much the Wii U, and the Xbox 360 were just shovelware.
Yeah, I think in that time it just kind of was when gaming was becoming even more mainstream.
Yeah, nobody really had like huge standards, and a lot of parents still didn't really 100% understand like video games as much.
Yeah, but also there were things, that were marketed that had a broader appeal. Like you were getting to the time where game systems could do more than just play games, and you had like stuff like the Wii, which was very much directed to like families. You know what I mean? Like everyone can play.
Yeah.
So then you just get lots of crap. But I just wanted to shout out Carnival Games Mini Golf. I know it's not super obscure, but I love that game. It's a charming game. It's not the best, but my family and I quote it a lot. When you hit it off of the side of the map into the water, but sometimes the Parker will just go, "It's in the water!" in just this great overly dramatic voice. Or if it falls in lava, which of course there's lava, he'll go, "Sizzle!" And like, they're not inherently funny, but
No, I feel that. I get you.
it's a fun time.
One thing I will say, I'm looking at just pictures of Wii shovelware, like what they're calling shovelware. First off, The Blob was not.
Divlov was a classic.
Drawn to Life wasn't. That was a good series.
Yes.
By the way, for anybody who doesn't know, shovelware is just games that they like pump out to just make more money. So like all of like the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader games, all the Barbie games, all of the Bratz, like all like toy, like especially like licensed games, like you were talking about. A lot of that is shovelware. Okay, so I don't know why I didn't talk about this when talking about the zombie games. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game, but it is very near and dear to my heart. It is a little game called I Made a Game with Zombies in It.
A great title.
Yes, but it's also, so the game came out in 2009, so of course it's in leet speak. Like epic spelling, like haha, epic. So it's IMAED. Okay, so that's I made, because that was like, it was like I made a thing or whatever. A game, and game has a 3 at the end instead of an E. There's with, where instead of a I, it's a 1. Zombies is actually spelled completely correctly. Oh no, it looks like the zombies has a 0 instead of an O. And then in it, the I in is a 1, and then the it is spelled correctly. I don't know. But the best part about the game was this one was a top down. It was a top down dual stick shooter. And you would just get like different power ups and stuff. The game was 13 minutes and 38 seconds long. The reason I know that is because that's how long the song is. And the song plays throughout the whole game, but it's not a repeating song. A guy wrote a full 13-minute song to play in the background of the game.
I respect that so much.
Yes.
Because in looking back at some of the old games that we were thinking about, some of the music just gets so repetitive.
Yes.
And you can tell they did not put effort into it. So props to this man, even if he decided to name his game in leet speak.
Yeah. Well, it was 2009. I'm giving him the what's it called? Benefit of the doubt. It's actually okay, so it's by Ska Studios, who made, I don't know if you know of this game, who made Salt and Sanctuary.
That name definitely rings a bell. Is that the
2D like Dark Souls game basically? That game did really well. Yes, this is the same guy who made that game.
Wow. Dude, this man went places.
Yeah.
I mean, how could I just instantly assume that a game with such an epic title as this isn't an instant classic?
Exactly. I don't know what you were thinking. Like literally the song starts out with the guy just being like welcome to my game. I've got zombies in it, so you'll play. And at some point, he'll just start going, it's just $1. Because it's $1. It's $1 to play. There's just a part where he just starts screaming, I made a game with zombies in it. Ugh.
It sounds like a classic, honestly.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. That was We beat that game quite a few times, I think, too, because once again, it's 15 minutes long, not even. So,
I mean, for a buck though.
yeah. I mean, we definitely got our buck worth out of it. I highly advise anybody to look up the song and just listen to at least the first, like, 5 minutes. Later on, it stops doing the vocals, and it just becomes kind of more, like, typical music. I mean, it does change as the game changes, because the game starts getting, like, really trippy later on and stuff, and, like, I'm currently actually just looking at, like, lead speak in general. What a time we lived in, man.
What a time. It's crazy to think about that and just like where humor actually used to be because so many people make fun of the early days of memes on the internet with like troll face and stuff like that. And yet that was legitimately what people liked. Which like I'm not judging them. It's just crazy to think about how much things have changed.
Oh, so another game. This is going to be very quick. I think this game. I don't know when this game originally came out, but my friend gifted me this game, and it's called Hard Truck Apocalypse: Rise of Clans / Ex Machina Meridian 113.
Pardon?
Hard Truck Apocalypse Rise of Clans / Ex Machina Meridian 113.
Every single part of that title sounds like it belongs to a different game than the rest.
Yes. Like, Hard Truck Apocalypse should be its own thing, and I actually think it is. And then Rise of Clans, I think, is like, oh, this is the sequel, Rise of Clans. But then just the Ex Machina Meridian 113, I don't even know what that means.
It's currently 60 cents.
Yes, that's why he gifted it to us. Because he was like, let's try this out, and then we couldn't play multiplayer.
Care to explain, like, what it is?
It's from 2006, and it looks like a 2006 game. And you just drive around, you shoot, and you probably get upgrades and stuff. I played, like, literally 15 minutes of it, maybe. So, who knows? But it did look like it had a pretty in-depth trading system and stuff. So, there's something about finding those, like, little obscure games from, like, the early to mid-2000s. Have you ever watched the YouTuber Seth Zentech?
I have not.
I think I might have mentioned him to you once or twice. He does a lot of reviews on, like, late 90s, early 2000s to mid 2000s games, and then a couple of more recent ones. I will say to everybody, definitely go check him out. He's hysterical. I also will say, I feel like obscure usually has a good connotation to it, in a weird way.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's just that nice feeling of knowing and being a fan of something obscure.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, it's always that thing of like, oh, you're such a hipster. You only like it because it's obscure or whatever. There's a difference between like enjoying obscure things and just enjoying them because you kind of feel a little special. You feel like you're like, yeah, this is kind of my thing. This is like my niche. And there's a difference between just being like, I bet you've never heard of it, and then immediately like abandoning something because a huge group of people start to like it.
I know it's easy to look at something popular and not get it and be frustrated, but things get popular for a reason.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Exactly. Like, I hate it when people are like, I don't even get why this song got the most popular. Like, this isn't even their best stuff. And I'm just like, it got popular for a reason.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with not liking popular stuff. It's the way people come at it.
It's just more like faulting people for liking unpopular stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I 110% do not listen to a lot of the current music, mostly because I just don't listen to the radio.
A lot of the time, it might just not be your thing, and that is totally okay. We don't need that monoculture, baby. However, sometimes it's a little nice to play into the more popular things. There is one particular franchise I remember from my childhood. Franchise might not be the best word, but in this kind of world of edutainment games we've been touching on, there is a certain company that I think many people have heard of, called Humongous Entertainment.
Yes, I've definitely heard of them.
Yes, especially if you're in our circles and have our circles of taste. A lot of YouTubers tend to talk about them because there is a nostalgia with them for a lot of people. They have a lot of well-known franchises. Putt-Putt, Pajama Sam, Spy Fox, Freddy Fish. However, that company, which I do want to get back to in a second, the same two co-founders of it, at one point a little later down the line, founded another company that kind of was aiming to do the same thing and had a lot of their own properties. This was after Humongous Entertainment had sold off their properties and were trying to get them back. But one of the games they made is a game that has been in the periphery of my brain for so many years because I couldn't remember anything about it outside of like two things. So here I am today, furiously Googling, being like, what is this one game with a child and a pink monster and one of them has a weird name and there might be pirates? and it's a point-and-click adventure game. After hours of searching, I found Moop and Dreadly in The Treasure on Bing Bong Island.
Wait, what?
Amazing title, right? I'm sure you're already sold. This game, I decided to look up a playthrough of it because I remembered playing it with my sister when I was younger, and we would always make fun of the characters for their dumb names because I would not want to be called Moop.
Dude, imagine going to the Bing Bong Island.
You, it sounds like a party, you know? I look up the playthrough, and it's like, oh, this game is in 6 chapters, and I'm like, oh, dang, okay. The playthrough's an hour long, and the guy doing the playthrough takes their time to do every single possible thing and hear every single possible line of dialogue in every menu. So what I'm learning is the game is far below an hour in playtime. However, I have distinct memories of this game. It's very similar to Humongous Entertainment style games because it has that feel that I talked about at the beginning of the episode of slightly grainy visuals, a little bit jumpy animation, super cartoony sound effects.
And it has like the voices of the characters that sounds like they filmed it on like a headset from a classroom.
Yes, one of the lines was weirdly delivered with like this explosion sound effect in the back for no reason. It was really strange. It sounded like it might have been trying to cover up, like, bad background noise or something. Anyways, the premise of the game is that it's this, I assume, young child as a pirate, and his kind of purple cat-like creature thing never explained what he is.
Okay.
Never explained why there's a child owning his own pirate ship with no one else there.
Happens to me. I am the Dreadly.
And it's basically just... Dude, I am the Dreadly.
I am the Dreadly.
Like, it sounds so epic, but if you look at it, it's just this purple cat guy.
Well, yeah, because, like, Moop, it's like, oh, it's Moop. But, like, Dreadly, you're just like, ooh, I don't know if I want to be Dreadly. There's just this big purple moose.
I don't know what he is. And Moop is annoying, let me tell you. Dreadly does all of the work in the entire game. Moop just comes in with his cocky little swagger, swaying his arms, strutting everywhere, and he's like, hey guys, I'm gonna find buried treasure on this island, when Moop is just trying to chill and read a book on the beach like a good man, creature, cat, whatever.
You said
but
Moop,
no.
I think you meant Dreadly, I'm guessing.
Yes. See, I still mix them up.
So Moop is the kid.
Moop is the kid. It has a really cute art style to it. I don't know what to compare it to. It feels like something, but I don't know what. But it's got those kind of like oblong, oval eyes, and it's very simple, it's very colorful. Not the best game by the looks of it. The puzzles look super easy, and I know Humongous Entertainment games were never touted for being particularly difficult, but like, this game looks easy. It also uses words like fastibulous.
Fastibulous?
Yes, which clearly speaks to its quality. I won't lie, there were a couple of jokes that made me smile. They're not clever, but they got a chuckle out of me.
Sometimes they get you. They get you with the little ones.
They do. The music is very repetitive. It's like the same 2 tracks, and every time something important happens, it plays the same song, which again, always Dreadly, does all of the hard work. From what I watched of the playthrough, which was most of it, the side characters aren't the most memorable, but it does have this overall feel of kind of like an old adventure serial, kind of like what inspired Indiana Jones, kind of those like old daring heroes from the black and white era who would go on adventures to the jungles and islands, and I want to take the cosmic family elephant to the jungle with me. I want to go with the elephant and with Dreadly and have a party in the jungle. It
Those
would
are
be
the
great.
boys. That's the boys right there.
That's the boys.
Oh, okay. So this, I'm gonna bring this up very briefly because this has nothing to do with video games or anything. This is more just obscure, I guess. But this is, I don't know how obscure. It's a YouTube video. Sorry to interrupt there. But so I remember I used to always look for, I guess, just Nerf battle videos, you know, because I was a young boy. And there was this one video called Boys vs. Girls, World War III. Before anybody goes looking for it, unfortunately, I cannot find it. So basically it was all of these little kids, it was these boys and girls in like a neighborhood, and they got angry over something. I actually genuinely don't remember what they got angry over. But then they split off and they go into this war, and you can tell that this was 100% the boys' idea, because they got all of like the Nerf guns to play with, and like the girls got like one Nerf gun, a slingshot, a toy bow and arrow, and like a stick. Oh my gosh! So first off, some of the best parts I just want to visit real quick, just because I find them so funny. When the boys are getting their debrief or their briefing at the beginning, right before they go on their mission, the boy like walks around, like the leader boy or whatever, and he's just walking around. He's talking normally, but kind of like a drill sergeant or whatever. And then he walks up to his friend who has like this like sniper rifle looking gun. It wasn't even a Nerf gun. I don't know what it was. And he just goes, "And Alexei, I want you to get some tasty snipes." The kid had not been talking in a Russian accent for the entire time and never would again. But he walks up and he goes, "Alexei, I want you to get some tasty snipes." Now remember, this kid's like 8. And then the best part of the video, the second best part of the video is the girls want a girl to go in and spy on the boys. And they use a rubber Barack Obama mask to do it. And it's super huge and super folded. And it's just this little girl walking up to them with this massive Barack Obama mask on, and you could barely hear her. It's glorious. And then at the very end, the ending is probably the best. Literally, so there were like 5 or 6 people on each team, but it's this one girl and this one guy left, and the guys had just set a bomb in a cooler in their garage, like a nuclear bomb.
Oh my god.
To destroy humanity. And the girl like walks up to the boy and just goes, "This is it. We're the last 2 humans alive."
What?
The human race is going to be wiped out. And then the boy goes, "We have to put a stop to this." And the girl's like, "Okay, we'll put a stop to it." And then all of a sudden the boy goes, "Wait, the bomb." And they run away from it. The girl falls over, right? And it's like, you know, she kind of like does like a little dive. But the boy. So first, the boy was probably like 4'6", maybe almost 5 feet tall. He was not very tall because, you know, once again, he was like 8. This kid must have jumped about 6 feet in the air.
Oh my god.
The kid leaps. He gets and it's in slow motion, so he gets like a solid 5 seconds of air time and just slams into the ground at full speed. And I don't know how the kid didn't break something. And that's
Did they
how
both make it out?
No, they died. That was it. It was done.
That's heartbreaking.
I think the girl like gets up for a second, says one more thing, and then just dead.
Dude, you have to find this. This sounds like art.
I think we'll have probably quite a few episodes about YouTube, but it's so, oh my god, it's just next level shit. And I really wish they hadn't. I really wish I could find it.
Oh, that video sounds like it was high art. But yeah, Moop and Dreadly, it's a game. I don't think it's worth checking out now, by the sounds of it and by the looks of it. The plot of the game was literally just like these 2 guys going to find treasure, and there were some natives. There was like an explorer, I guess. It was the daughter of the chief, and then there were evil pirates who also want the treasure. Pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
Not as good as any of the humongous entertainment games, though. Have you played any of those?
No.
None. Are you like how familiar are you with those?
I know them from the Peanut Butter Gamer videos, and that's literally about it.
That's fair. I have a lot of nostalgia for them. I guess that kind of makes me curious, because like some of the humongous entertainment games, they have great titles. My particular favorites are the Spy Fox games, because the 2 games in that series, which I have right next to me here, are Operation Ozone and Spy Fox in Dry Cereal. And then the Pajama Sam games are always kind of like sayings, which I think you know. No need to hide when it's dark outside. Life is rough when you lose your stuff. And then there's the Putt-Putt games, which I wanted to play a little game with you. So I've got a list of names here. I've got quite a few, but you know. And I want you to tell me whether or not you think these are real Putt-Putt games.
Okay.
Our first title on the list here, Putt-Putt Goes to the Moon. Real or fake?
That one I actually do know for a fact. That's real.
Yes. Next up we got Putt-Putt Plays Ball.
Okay.
It's about baseball. It's got some other sports stuff in there, other sports mini games, but it's mostly about baseball.
Fake.
You don't think Putt-Putt would play baseball?
No, I don't.
Dude, this car's done some wild stuff, but unfortunately you're right. Putt-Putt did not play ball.
Yeah, it's fake.
Next up, we got Putt-Putt Joins the Circus.
I think that's real.
You think that's real? Is that your final answer?
Think so, yeah.
You are correct. That is real.
A, 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 A.
Next up, we have a game that's actually a prequel in the series. It's Putt-Putt Adopts a Pet, and it explains kind of the origins of where Pep came from.
Okay.
So it's the first Putt-Putt game chronologically.
I believe that's real as well.
You fool. You absolute buffoon.
Oh, no.
I bamboozled you.
I know there is a part where he adopts Pep, but I think it's part of a smaller game.
Next up, we have a classic dilemma that many children's characters
Yes.
have had to face. Or a classic
Okay.
conflict, I guess is a better way to put it. Putt-Putt saves Christmas.
Okay. I think that's fake.
You don't think Putt-Putt is a good Christian boy?
I don't think he did that, no.
You're right, Putt-Putt is too cruel-hearted to help Santa. Putt-Putt did not save Christmas. Next up, I should be keeping track of how many I think you got one wrong so far.
Yeah.
We'll keep track. If you get
What's gonna happen, Feats? What's gonna happen if I get a certain amount right?
if you get 15 right, I will pay you $1.
Sure.
Alright, real stakes here. Next up, Putt-Putt joins the parade.
Okay. I know that one is true. That's a real one.
Dang. Now what if it was Putt-Putt joins the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade?
Nah, I know that's not true.
Putt-Putt sets sail.
Fake?
Dang. I thought I'd get you with that one. I was kind of proud of that
No,
one. You know?
I think... Alright, just keep going. Just keep going.
Putt-Putt travels through time.
That's true, I think.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I think it's a real one.
Crap.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna get me, huh?
I did. I mean, this next one I think will get you because it's a Putt-Putt classic. Everyone knows this one. Everyone loves this one. Putt-Putt goes to prison. You know, it was really took the character in a new bold direction.
I think... No, I mean, that's 100% fake, but I really wish it was a real game.
I can't believe you would. How dare you? Putt-Putt served his time. Okay.
They got him. Wow. I guess none of us are safe.
Putt-Putt at the theme park.
False.
You're right. It's false. Not my best title, to be honest. Oh, another classic. Putt-Putt in Toyland.
Fake?
Dang. I pretty much. What did I steal? I think I stole that one from that movie with Keanu Reeves. Putt-Putt saves the zoo.
That's a real one.
Dude, there's an animal in trouble somewhere.
Putt-Putt doesn't care. He just wants to see some animals.
Putt-Putt makes a movie.
Putt-Putt makes a movie. Dude, so do I. Fake?
That's correct. It is fake. Although I would love to see Putt-Putt make a really strange, artsy indie film. Putt-Putt Pep's Haunted Mansion.
True?
You're wrong. I got you.
I thought so, but I was like, that one sounds like it would be a Putt-Putt game.
Putt-Putt Pep's birthday surprise.
True.
Makes you think it's true.
I know this one's true.
You know more about Putt-Putt than I thought you did.
Yeah, I do too, actually. Well, you have to remember, I think PBG went over all of them.
Putt-Putt in the big city.
Big fucking city, dude. Fake.
You're well on your way to earning that $1. By that I mean, it's over. You've earned the $1. But I'll rattle off the last 3.
Yes, dude!
Putt-Putt fakes the moon landing?
Hey, I had help from Kubrick and Putt-Putt.
It's one of Quentin Tarantino's many classics.
One of his greatest films, actually. Little known fact. I watch it every night when I go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Putt-Putt eliminates the middle class? It's just waiting to happen. You knew. Putt-Putt's had it out for the middle class for years.
Forever and ever and ever. God damn it. The crazy man.
And of course, Pep being part of the proletariat doesn't really help.
He has been since the beginning, and I think that's what's the scariest part.
Of course. And the final name on our list, Putt-Putt enters the race.
That is real. That is real one.
You got 2 wrong. I'm really ashamed of myself, even though I didn't put that much effort into this.
I will say I do believe that I knew more than I originally I personally believed, as well as I let on. You got me with a couple of those though. Like I was very close with a couple of those.
That's how Dreadly gets you.
Dude, Dreadly coming out of the. My name Dreadly.
Maybe we'll play more games like that in the future. Didn't go as well as I'd hoped, but
Well, we had fun.
we had a fun time this week.
Yeah, I definitely
I
had
had
fun.
a good trip down memory lane. I dug up some old repressed video game memories.
Oh yeah, me as well.
You're great people, great listeners as always. Thanks
Oh
for
my
joining
goodness.
us this
The
week.
best, the best, the best.
Thank you, good Sir Tommy, for joining me as well.
Of course, anytime, literally anytime at this point.
Feel free to tweet at us at 218timepod on Twitter.
Comment.
Comment somewhere. These will probably be on YouTube. That's all we got, I think. So, as I always say, Godspeed.
And our reservoir.